We have a news alert coming out of the Vikings organization where, well, star pass rusher defensive end Danielle Hunter plans on skipping mandatory minicamp. Now, this could mean something. It could not mean anything because we've seen players in the past do this before, especially high caliber players like Danielle himself, where, he posted 11.5 sacks last season. He had back-to-back 14.5 sack seasons before he tore his pec muscle and stuff like that. But per Tom Pelissero, three-time Pro Bowl defensive end Danielle Hunter plans to skip the Vikings mandatory minicamp per sources. The sides haven't seen eye to eye on a new contract. Now, Ian Rappaport reported Minnesota has received trade calls, and now one of the NFL's top pass rushers is officially in a holdout. Now, we talked about the trade calls a little bit last week. This is a real situation. Look, Dalvin Cook, we were receiving trade calls for. We ended up releasing him, saving us about $9 million on the cap space and stuff like that. Have 5.3 or something in dead cap. So this could happen. I'm not saying he's going to get cut. If anything, Danielle Hunter would be traded. But I think the Vikings and Danielle Hunter end up getting a deal done. Obviously, with freeing up Dalvin Cook's cap a little bit, we have like 18 mil or something that to spend. But at the same time, look, Justin Jefferson needs a contract extension. We might have to extend TJ Hawkinson and stuff like that. So we have to kind of weigh the pros and cons of the situation and hope to God, okay, that Danielle Hunter remains a Minnesota Viking, because when he is healthy, he is a freak of nature, okay? He is a problem for opposing quarterbacks when he is completely healthy. He posted 11.5 sacks last year under Ed Donatell's defense, which I hate to bring it back, but was horrible. Absolutely atrocious. I don't want to see that ever again. That's why I'm thankful that we have Brian Flores, who knows how to implement the blitz and kind of put players in the right position to succeed, which I think he's going to do with Danielle Hunter. So I just hope he remains a Minnesota Viking. I hope a deal gets done and stuff like that. But per Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, outside linebacker Danielle Hunter will not be attending the Vikings mandatory minicamp this week. The reason from this obviously stems from Hunter's contract, which is now officially an issue for the team. Now, Hunter signed a 5-year, $72 million contract extension just before training camp started in 2018, and that extension is now in its final year. Now, after missing all of the 2020 and the 2021 season with injuries, Hunter had a significant bounce-back year last year with 11.5 sacks. Now, Hunter has a base salary for this season of just $4.9 million. It's not a lot, which is, it's a pretty small number for a player of his caliber. He's definitely young enough where he could be a significant part of the team's defense going forward, and the team should definitely be looking into redoing his deal here at some point. Now, will they? I mean, that remains to be seen. I hope they do. Danielle Hunter is fantastic, like I said, when he's healthy. He feasts on quarterback. He's one of the cornerstones of our defense. And look, we don't have much depth behind him. Okay, we have Marcus Davenport on the other side, but behind Danielle Hunter, we're looking at DJ Wanham, who's shown that he can play, pretty decent when he's starting or when he's on the field. He is kind of inconsistent at times. We also have Patrick Jones, the second, right behind him. So there's not a lot of depth that we have. So keeping Danielle Hunter, for me, has to be at the utmost importance. We have to find a way to keep Danielle Hunter, keep him happy. But like I said, we have to extend Justin Jefferson, might extend TJ Hawkinson. Do we have the money, right? We have 18 mil or something like that in cap space right now. Do we have enough money to extend all these players? I'm not really sure. So I hope we find a way to keep Danielle Hunter on our roster, but I'm not sure how long this holdout is going to be. With the 3 days of mandatory minicamp, if you miss all three, it's a total fine of like $99,000, and Danielle Hunter obviously doesn't want to have to pay that fine, but he's going to if he wants to get paid, okay? He wants a big contract. He is a superstar defensive end, pass rusher, 3-time Pro Bowler. He has all the accolades that a guy deserves to get a contract. Look, he signed one back in 2018. He deserved that contract. Now, does he deserve a bigger contract? You could say potentially yes, potentially no, due to the fact that he has been injured the past couple seasons, except for last year. But posting 11.5 sacks under a defense that was horrible, atrocious, putting him in the wrong positions to succeed, you got to expect that the Vikings kind of look at that and go, okay, he's a dog. All right, we got to pay this guy and kind of move forward. And with Brian Flores being our defensive coordinator, I think he's going to put the guys in places to succeed more than we did last year, which, won't have to, Danielle Hunter won't have to drop back and pass coverage. He'll sit on the end and kind of make the quarterback's life just absolutely terrible. So Danielle Hunter is currently holding out for the Minnesota Vikings. He wants a new contract. We're receiving trade calls. Nothing is really coming of this situation other than the Vikings have a decision to make, and it is a massive, massive decision. I would like Danielle Hunter to remain a Viking. You guys can let me know in the comments what the Vikings should do with Danielle Hunter. Do we trade him? Do we extend him, or I really don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Drop a like, and hey, subscribe to the channel. It would be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your day, folks, and Skol Vikes.